Good morning, YouTube. This is Shah Muhammad here out of Wawa, Ontario, and it's a Sunday. I'm working on my deck out here, trying to get this thing finished. You can just have a look here and see. It's coming along. But that's not the purpose of my video today. My purpose of my video today is to talk about supplements and stacks. So what exactly do I take to maintain my health? And somebody recently told me that I look pretty good for my age. And so I'm 46. I mean, judge for yourself. But I wanted to share some information with you with regards to what I'm taking and what I do. So let's go through really quickly the purpose. So the whole reason that I got into taking supplements to begin with is that I realized that my food was not giving me enough nutrients, and I kind of deduced that because my function just wasn't that great. And I was like, I wonder. My mom used to take vitamins, and she took them when she was pregnant, and she took them also in other times when she was ill or whatnot. And I got into studying that a bit, and I realized, yeah, there might be some validity to this. So I started to experiment with vitamins at that time, and I noticed major improvements in my mental function, and I also noticed major improvements in my overall physiological function. So when I started running track and I started getting into sports, nutraceuticals or taking nutritional supplements was just part of my life, and I did it on rotation. I never married myself to one product or to one line or train of thinking. It was always emergent and it was always evolving, and it continues to be now. So with all of that said, that's the reason that I take them. Let's just run through what my stack is composed of. So I have kind of a daily, weekly type stack that I take, but I rotate it and never get too fixed into it. So right now I'm using a product from BodyWise, both the AM and a PM. The AM is more about vitamins, like the B vitamins, the C, A, E, and D, that kind of stuff. Whereas the PM is more related to minerals. So they're looking zinc, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, etc. And they're all chelated, so they're bound to either a vitamin or a protein. Sorry, not a vitamin. A protein or a protein source. They're bound, which makes them more bioavailable and easier for your body to absorb. So in addition to those two, I also take a fish oil supplement, and this one is a combination of EPA, DHA, and omega-3. And then I've also got calcium and magnesium. So there's a calcium. I take this like maybe 3 times a week, if that, maybe 2 to 3 times a week. And then I take a magnesium supplement as well. This I take before bed. Really helps me sleep very well. This one is also bound to an amino acid, taurine, and is also great for brain function as well. And the calcium I usually take around lunchtime or not early in the morning, but like mid-morning ish. And it is important, I should mention, that the timing of when you take your vitamins is important. And I would, if there's no suggestion, play around with it. If there is a suggestion, try it. If it doesn't work, play around with other times of the day. And the reason is that the body does absorb different nutrients at different times of the day. There's also counter, so you don't want to take your calcium when you take your zinc, copper. You don't want to take copper when you take zinc. But then I can't now remember whether it's calcium or magnesium. But those two I take anyway, separate from when I take my PM. Okay, that all said, I've got a couple other things that I take right now. NeuroBrain Factor. Now I'm going to jump into the ones that I take with my shake. So this goes into my shake, half a scoop. This one is, I've noticed over time that mental function needs to be maintained in some capacity. And there's different supplements that do that. This one has a good blend of vitamin B12. So it's got some B vitamins in it. It's got the magnesium in it that crosses blood-brain barrier. Cognizin, which is cytocholine, and it's a trademark name. And then there's alpha G, PC, and tyrosine. Great product. I find that this stuff works really well to keep me on point and just keep my mental function firing. So in addition to this, I also take in my shake, I'll take chlorella. Okay, so this is just a single cell algae or form of algae, and it is really high in chlorophyll, which is one molecule away from being being blood, heme or iron. So that iron, magnesium, this has magnesium. It swaps the magnesium out for iron, and all of a sudden you got blood. So this stuff makes really quick blood, and blood is our life force, so we need it. So I take that usually with one of the protein supplements, and so this one is a chlorella protein supplement that I also take. But I also have two other ones here that I play around with, so I don't just take the same one every day. This one's a organic vegan blend, so it's non-animal protein. And then I've also got two others. This one's a beef protein, which I find clean beef protein is really good. Read a book called Joseph J. D'Adamo, Eat Right for Your Type. And in that book, he talks about our genetics and how our genetics are actually linked to the food sources that we are more enzymatically and physiologically able to produce, utilize for our maintenance of our bodies. And anyway, so I've always found that in my experimentation, that utilizing either a paleo style diet or keto paleo style diet seems to be more beneficial for me than relying too heavily on grains. There's a study, there's studies about it, but lectins are the thing that I think really kind of weigh me down. In any case, I've also got another protein here, naked rice, and that one sometimes I use, throw in either addition or use it by itself, and I rotate all of these through. The last one that I take, maca, right now is part of my stack, and maca is really great for your overall function, creativity, and sexual function. Really important for your creativity, because they're very, very intimately tied together. Your sexuality and your creativity are definitely tied together, and your overall energy. Okay, so that is my stack. So my shake, as I said, protein and maca and the chlorella, and then I usually break a banana in there, throw in some berries. Is there anything else I add to the shake? Sometimes I'll put milk, although I don't like milk. Milk is not great. I try to use very little of it. And yeah, so that's pretty much my stack at this time. I do play around with things and I add things. I have a whole bunch of different herbs that I play around with as well. And I encourage you to experiment. Know your body, read about things about your body, how it utilizes, how your gut functions. I used to take probiotics. I still do occasionally take probiotics on a rotational basis, just to keep my gut healthy. Okay, so that's all my stack. Let's talk quickly about what I do. So I work out probably about 2 to 3 times a week, and I try to ride my bike into work. Now I haven't been riding for a while, and that kind of keeps my body and my blood circulating in my body and everything oxygenated, and keeps my cardio good, right? So there's a couple studies actually done around riding a bike and then doing math, and apparently when you get cardio, your brain obviously functions better because your brain runs on oxygen. That's one of the key elements that your brain needs. So getting out and getting air, whether that's some form of aerobic exercise. I do lift weights and I try to do body weight exercises, especially right now with Corona. Otherwise, I'd go to the gym and I would lift. Try to do some really stick to compound movements, and do some single heavyweight movements to really boost testosterone. Used to use squats to do that, or a leg press to really kind of really weight the body down intensely, and really low reps to get a testosterone spike. So that's pretty much kind of what I do. And I feel great. I've got lots of energy throughout the day. I probably sleep somewhere between 5 and 7 hours a night. On average, probably 6 hours is my sweet spot. And I don't drink a lot of coffee. Occasionally I'll have a cup in the morning, and it's not every day that I have coffee. I don't require it to actually function. I find kale actually is more of a stimulant to me than coffee is. I mean, if I have both together, then I'm like supercharged. But yeah, okay. So that's pretty much it. I've taken 10 minutes to talk through my stack. I give you some information around kind of what I do to maintain my health and my longevity and my overall function, and my youthfulness, because that seems to be a thing. I seem to be young. People tell me I'm young in the way that I think and in potentially the way that I look, but I'm just me. Whatever. Whatever. I'm me. All right. Well, thank you for your time. Hopefully, this information is useful to you. Click like in the comment section below, or leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this, and if you have any suggestions or you want to start a dialogue, happy to converse. Look for you next time. I will talk next time about the mental component around staying young and being active. That mental element is so crucial. It's not just about supplements and things that you put in your body and your environment. It is about your mental thoughts as well. And we'll talk about that in a later video. All right. See you next time. Talk soon.